no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Go hog wild with barbecue.
It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a one-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and drink for just $5.99. Upgrade your sandwich to beef brisket for just $1 more. Join us for lunch or dinner in Lincoln at 3210 Cornhusker Highway. Order online at gohogwild.com.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
When your home fills up with family, Aloe Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Aloe Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Aloe at 866-481-2556 or visit aloefiber.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions with pay starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Fall is here, and so are cooler temps, darker evenings, and slick roads. Is your vehicle ready for the change in season? At A1 Automotive, we've got you covered. From tire checks, brake inspections, batteries, and heater systems, we make sure your car is road ready for the Nebraska winters ahead. Don't wait until the first frost. Schedule your fall car care checkup today and drive with confidence all season long. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Hey guys, it's Nick. We had a great week 1 high school football matchup where Lincoln North Star got the 14-10 win over Lincoln Southwest, but now it's time to turn our attention to one of the best rivalries in Nebraska. This Friday at 8 p.m., join me and Jay Foreman for Lincoln Southeast versus Lincoln Southwest. Southeast is coming in off of a dominating 30-0 win versus Grand Island, while the Silverhawks look to get their first win of the 2025 season. Kickoff is slated for 8 p.m. from Seacrest Field, with pregame coverage beginning at 7:45. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night for Lincoln Southeast versus Lincoln Southwest, right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches, too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinnie Krekak of State Farm Insurance. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley, who last
week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Turn me up, Bock. Yeah. 93.7, the ticket, Bock in the black shirt. Here Monday through Friday, every day from 1 to 3. It is Thursday, September 4th, 2 days before the Husker night game against Akron at 6:30 at Memorial Stadium. Light show is in effect. Bock, how you doing today?
Hey, not too bad. It's obviously NFL opening day as well. As you know, we like to zone in on college football, so we got plenty of storylines to kind of break down there. Some new ideas from Matt Rule coming from the press conference that they had, so plenty to break down today.
All right, Bock. NFL is trying to outdo college football when we talk about the 5 days we just had. I don't know if they got a Saturday game, but they got a Thursday and Friday game and Sundays.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're playing.
No, of course, Monday night. Yeah,
Monday night. I guess they're trying to up us one. But, Bock, I'm going to go with a little college football news right now. This right here is crazy. I was just reading. I'm a reader when I'm not playing the video game, which I did already this morning. So I'm back to college football now.
Nice.
The most watched game in history of week 1 in college football. You know who that goes to?
I think it's a recent one.
16.6 million people watched Texas and Ohio State. That's a lot of people, Bock.
That is a lot of people. As it continues the big noon Buckeyes trend. Not good for maybe not the best news for Ohio State because they draw numbers in that time slot. They don't always like playing and big noon, but they're the brand.
They're the brand. They are the brand. And Nebraska did pretty good. They did pretty good. They their damn self. So when you look at Nebraska, they rounded out the top 10 in college football games this week. Let me get to it right here. Here we go. All right. So with that being said, Bock, Nebraska had I'll just read all of them out. Top 10 games of week 1. Texas, Ohio State, 16.6 million. Notre Dame versus Miami, 10.8 million. Florida State versus Alabama, 10.7 million. LSU versus Clemson, 10.4 million. TCU and North Carolina, 6.1 million. Virginia Tech and South Carolina, 5.4 million. Iowa State and Kansas, which was week 0, but it still goes with week 1, 4 million. Georgia Tech and Colorado, 3.7 million. Nebraska and Cincinnati, 3.3 million. And Syracuse versus Tennessee, 2.6 million. What do you think about that, Bock?
Well, it's good to be in the top 10, obviously, for Nebraska, Cincinnati. Might want a little bit bigger of a number. I maybe expected a little bit bigger of a number with the Swifties there involved with Nebraska, Cincinnati, but I don't know if that showed as much here as maybe we'd wanted it to. But when you kind of look at it, step back, look at it as a whole, 3 of the top 4 here were those top 10 matchups. So again, kind of incentivizing in the future college football to get those matchups out there. Of course, week 1, there is a much more loaded schedule than what will be ahead for week 2. Not that there aren't exciting games there too, but you're talking about doing these type of numbers over 10 million. We'll see how many of those kind of get to that category this weekend. And then the other one that was that went over 10 obviously was Alabama and Florida State, which watching the fall of Alabama, certainly interesting. And as that game became more and more interesting, as Florida State continued to lead, they were led pretty much throughout it. I think probably more people tuned in. And then if you're kind of looking at Nebraska compared to some other schools there, North Carolina, Belichick's debut, Monday night all by itself. Of course, Nebraska was pretty much Thursday night all by itself, but Monday still coming off that Labor Day weekend in the Belichick factor. I could understand, but yeah, I thought maybe the Swifties would help us out a little bit more than they did here, but still a pretty good number. Your top 10. Top 10.
Kudos to the top teams that play the top teams.
Yeah.
I myself would love to see more of that in college football. I would let teams play one lower tier team a year, not 2 or 3. I would say 1, and then play the other good guys.
Yeah, and I think that's what's happening. The SEC obviously now going to 9 conference games, And now, so we're going to see, the Big Ten approach, which has been, hey, we play 9 conference games. We don't think it's fair that the SEC plays 9. And so they've kind of, sometimes different schools, Ohio State when they won their title, Michigan when they won their title, didn't really play a whole lot of people in the non-con. We've seen Nebraska and Indiana cancel series with Power 4 programs, basically to combat that the SEC wouldn't jump on board. Now that the SEC is playing 9 conference games and they want an additional game, a Power 4 opponent game, a big-time matchup, I think we're going to see the Big Ten now responsibly do the same thing, just making sure everything's equal. And then hopefully the case is, and they've been talking about it before, the Big Ten and the SEC get together and have their own Big Ten SEC challenge. I think that would be incredible. Of course, you'd have to kind of, figure out different ways to iron out some schedules, because some of them would be too difficult at that point. I think there's a few schedules with Georgia now going to the 9 SEC conference games. There's a few of them where they just got an absolute murder's row. Like all 3 of their non-con games are Power 4 opponents. Obviously the Georgia Tech crossover is always there. So there's some games I think still to be deleted, but there'll still be some games ahead. And I think as far as Nebraska goes, I don't fear so much the Nebraska-Tennessee thing happening all over again. I'm not sure if Nebraska-Tennessee will play again. But.
Stadium renovations. That was we backed out for. Stadium renovation, wasn't it?
For Nebraska, Tennessee?
Yeah.
I think it was. It was competitive. Yeah, I think it was more of a competitive deal there.
If they can play Syracuse, I know Tennessee's not backing out.
Well, no, it's Nebraska that backed out.
Yeah.
Well, again, directly because the SEC was playing 8 conference games.
If anybody thinks that you would accept an easy way to the college football playoffs, then you get beat the first game, you're out of there. I mean, are you just satisfied of just going or playing your butts off and trying to win it?
Well, again, Ohio State and Michigan have won it the last two years without difficult non-cons. So, it's worked for their brands. But obviously, coming up from where Nebraska is, which is a big brand name, but obviously not at the top of college football for the past couple decades, you're probably going to have to earn your way up a little bit more. Well, Indiana made it with a weak non-con, though, last year.
They played everybody else in these conferences, but, I'm just saying, though, Bock.
Yeah.
All right, Bock. Shout-outs to Nebraska volleyball team. $1.2 million. Hey, 1.2 million views this weekend, Bock. Nebraska to Kentucky average 1.2 million viewers on ABC on Sunday to become the most watched regular season match ever on ABC. The most watched regular season match ever on any ESPN network. Those girls are bad.
Yeah, it's a good deal. Number 1 team in the nation, as we know, and they put on a show. Still, I'm not sure if they're going to go undefeated. Of course, their last match out was the reverse sweep that they had to do against another top 10 opponent. So it's not like it was against the nobodies, but it's going to be hard. And so I'm just interested to kind of see what the path is, when that might happen, what the response will be. Not too worried about the team, just the fan base is always kind of interested. You want to win every game, and I get that, but it's going to be interesting. But it's good to see. As we always talk about the growth of the sport, it was great for Lincoln to kind of to highlight volleyball, and now to be able to kind of be the center of volleyball there for that weekend was incredible. And now to kind of see the results of that. Not disappointing. What pretty much as expected for Nebraska volleyball breaking records. That's what I expect now when you talk about Nebraska volleyball.
I hope they go undefeated. I mean, they may not. We never know. We don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good. So here's my question, though, Bock. And it's not a question, but here's what I want to say. Everybody's waiting. They're waiting for that first one so they can say, oh, John Cook's not there. Where the coach we got now is great, too. This is a great team. Nebraska volleyball does it itself. I mean, it recruits itself. It plays itself, and it's been doing that for over 25 years, 30 years. They've been good since 95, 94, way back then.
Oh, yeah.
They won it when we won it. So we was all walking around with the big heads back in 95. That's how we was.
Yeah.
I mean, they won it, we won it. We was all walking around, hey, yeah, that's right. We won it. But it wasn't a problem. But now it's a problem because football is down, trying to raise back up. Volleyball's been the standard for this university for the last 25 years. Our other sports in wrestling, it's up there. Bowling, it's up there. Baseball, it's a little bit down there, but it's still up there. If you can make it to the NCAA tournament, I mean, that's great.
That's the goal, yeah.
That's the goal. Basketball, women's, it's up there. Men's, we still got a little way to go. Men's basketball and football still need to get over that hump. But the other sports here in this university, hey, they carry the University of Nebraska. I mean, I know football's the big dog because they make the big dog money.
Yeah.
But you have to go out here and cheer for these women. You have to go out here and cheer for these young men on the mat. You have to go out here and cheer for the softball team. You have to cheer for the baseball team. Every sport matters, not just football.
Well, and it's interesting, too. Obviously, football, we know, proud history, 5 national championships. But Bob Devaney and Tom Osborne being the head men for each of them. Now you get into volleyball. And, of course, Terry Pettit, like you said, won a national title. John Cook won several titles. DVK, good volleyball beat Nebraska. Football, as far as, you know, how many different coaches are going to win national titles, I think they're definitely in a position to do so. Easier said than done. Hopefully we see DVK and in Nebraska pull through this season. Right now, number 1, obviously, that's a good place to be, and you feel competitively they're going to be there. But again, it'll be interesting too, especially, I mean, the expectation for Nebraska volleyball is at least Final Four, right? And then the last couple of times they've made it to the championship game, came up just a little bit short. So that's going to make it all the sweeter when they finally cross that line and get the win. And it's awesome to see them, like you said, regardless of kind of who's in the lead, and it matters. I mean, DVK is one of the top coaches in the nation, but it's kind of its own animal at this point.
Yeah, it's great. You know, I love Nebraska. I love Nebraska football, baseball, every sport we got. I support every sport we have at this university, but football is the main reason I came here. So I'm waiting on us to get over that cloud like a plane, you know, like when you take off and you go all the way up, Bob, and then you settle.
Yeah.
At the top. That's what I'm waiting for Nebraska to do.
We're still going up.
Oh yeah, we're still in the air, Bob.
That's
we're
right.
Still in the air. All right, Bob. College football news. Florida Gators have something great they can do in the next 6 out of 7 weeks. Probably it won't be this week, but from November 13th to 10-14, Bob, they can do something great. They could be the first team to play in 3 of the next 4 or 5 college game days. You know why I say that, Bob?
Why is that?
Here's a look at their schedule. Florida versus LSU, 9-13. Great candidate for college game day. Florida versus Miami, 9-20. Get college game day.
Good, yeah, it could be.
Florida versus Texas, 10-4. Could be possibly college game day. Then back on the 14th, they play a Texas A&M team. Could be on college game day. Wouldn't it be great to be a Florida Gator?
I don't know. That's one way to look at it if you're looking for chances at game day. But the other side of that is you could lose 4 straight. I mean, that is a difficult schedule and still be a pretty good team. So that's kind of what is interesting about that. It is also interesting. You kind of look back at fondly of Nebraska fans, of course, do of the 90s. It feels like the 90s right now because it's the first time since 2006, and of course, directly following the 90s that the Florida State, and Miami are all ranked in the top 15. So yeah. Again, those were teams that were dominant in the 90s along with Nebraska. So it kind of feels that Nebraska, of course, needs to join that party. But of those 3, I've got to say Florida feels like the one with the most chance to drop there. Now, Florida State's kind of new to it, right? Jumped up to 14th, I believe, in the polls after beating Alabama, and we're still going to try to figure out how good Alabama was. We'll try to see that throughout the year, but Florida's schedule is just it's a tough one. So we'll see if they're able to come through, and again, it's going to be interesting to see, is it win total or strength of schedule that the college football playoff likes, because Oklahoma, Florida, they might have worse win-loss records by the end of the season than some other teams, but their schedules are going to be significant. Some of the most difficult in the country. Heck, throw Wisconsin in there. I don't think they're going to be on that same pace, but teams like that, is that going to, at this point, like they've said they're going to do, be more important than win total? Because again, that also factors into teams, signing these huge deals to play non-conference opponents. if win totals still matter more than anything, then you don't schedule the harder teams. If strength of schedule comes in to factor in quite a bit, then you don't have to worry about it. And I think in the polls, we also saw the teams that lost, the top 10 teams, they did their job early on in saying, yeah, we respect you scheduling that game, not getting blown out in that game. And so we're going to keep, there's 3 0-1 teams in the top 10 right now.
That's
all that lost.
That's great because that's how it's supposed to go. If 1 and 2 play, I expect them to drop to 3. You know what I'm saying? That's just how
7-point game. Yeah.
That's how college, especially if it's close. Now, if it's a blowout, I might drop you to 15.
Yeah.
But true or false? College football is better when the Florida State is good. College football is better when Miami is good. College football is better when Florida is good. College football is at best when all 3 are good.
Absolutely. I mean, there are those years where they really struggle, and UCF argues they were the best team in Florida, and you're going, okay, but is that great for Florida? Is that great for college football fans? No, I mean, these are brands they're easy to hate, just to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The arrogance gets going pretty quickly down there. Obviously everybody always kind of has their feeling about Florida, and we can kind of poke fun of it from the outside, but it's a pretty good place to live if we're honest. And so those places, especially, the kind of the arrogance of Miami, Florida kind of has the SEC involved there, and just the history that those teams have. Absolutely. And that's why I'm excited to see these kind of name brands be back up there. Like, can they stay? Again, that's kind of the question. Still kind of questions out there on each of those teams. Though Miami, I had questions about Miami coming in. That was one of the more impressive performances, I thought, in general, that they put out there, beating Notre Dame, obviously a team that went to the college football playoff championship game last year. So Miami feels a little bit more, okay, that's a legit top 10 team. Florida State maybe still have a little bit to prove. Florida State off to a good start, obviously.
Yeah, just being a Southern person, football is great down south when Georgia, Florida, all the guys are big. Just this. Now, Bill and Bennett, he quoted me wrong, Bock, I think. You see that? Read it for me, Bock.
He said, how can you say Nebraska baseball is down, Blackshirt? They have won the conference tournament 2 years in a row.
Did I say baseball was down, Bock?
No, I don't think you did.
I didn't. Pay attention, Bill. Take your headphones, turn your headphones up a little bit. Turn your car radio up, your computer, your internet, your phone, whatever you winning. I said, baseball is up there.
Yeah.
I said, we're trying to get football and basketball up in the clouds with us, with the other programs we have. Didn't say anything about basketball.
And baseball, it's to be fair, it's an interesting read. Maybe I don't know if he heard you correctly. I don't think he did, but in any case, it was an interesting season. Maybe didn't live up to the win-loss record that people expected. Kind of saved their season there at the end by winning the Big Ten tournament. But again, that's that what you want ultimately is an NCAA tournament berth. But I can understand there's breaking down that baseball season is it's kind of up to how you decide.
It doesn't even matter to me what Nebraska does in the regular season anymore, because what they pulled off last year, hey, they can do it every year. They can do it every year. I know it's impossible every year, but to see what they did last year was amazing.
It was, and it was a great time. But again, at some point, you do want to move the goalposts back, or upward, however you want to say that. And of course, their regional performance wasn't all that good. So it's just an interesting season to break apart. But one way or the other, you can't tell them they weren't champions. And ultimately, that's the goal heading into the season, to be Big Ten champs, and that'll give you an automatic berth, and that's the path they went.
Old Dad says football is better when Nebraska is good. You're right,
absolutely.
But Nebraska has won so much in the 90s, in the 80s, in early 2000s that people they hate us. They don't want to see Nebraska win. They don't. Kurt Hurspry, he don't, because we took Ohio State. They're not that good. They get beat every year. I'm just saying, they never could win the big game.
Ohio State?
How many national championships Ohio State won in the last 20 years, Bob?
Well, they won one last year.
Okay, last year.
And won one in 2013, like 2002. Those numbers might be slightly up. 2014. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, they've been doing pretty good.
Yeah, they've been doing pretty good. But Kurt hadn't done good when he was in college.
Yeah, maybe not, but he's done pretty good post career. I think he's got a couple billboards up here in Lincoln with Raising Cane's.
That's okay.
I love to see it.
It'll have some devil eyes on it when I finish with it. I can climb that.
You're not a Herb Street guy. I didn't know this. I love Kirk Herbstreit.
I don't like him. He's like, what happened to the other crybaby they had with him? Desmond, what's his name?
Desmond Howard.
He's still there?
I think he is. I don't like him as much. But
all right, 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Black Shirt. We'll be right back. We are powered
by
Bauer.
Infrastructure.
Bauer.
Underground. Excavating.
93.7 The Ticket.
Break out the Lederhosen and raise a stein. Oktoberfest is this Friday at Kincaidor in the Haymarket. Music and food service start at 4 p.m. and the party goes on through the night. Expect cold beer, German eats, and all the Bavarian fun you can handle at Oktoberfest this Friday night at Kincaidor in the Haymarket.
When your home fills up with family, Aloe Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Aloe Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Aloe at 866-481-2556 or visit aloefiber.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go. For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O. When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
Experience an electric vehicle firsthand at LES's EV Ride and Drive, September 28th at the LES Operations Center. Registration is open now, but spots are limited. Visit les.com/drive to reserve your drive.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Are you facing a legal problem and don't know where to turn? You need trial attorneys you can trust. Liberty Law Group's experienced trial attorneys will handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Whether you've been accused of a crime, injured in an accident, or threatened with a lawsuit, you can trust that Liberty Law will be there for you. Call to find out how Liberty Law can help you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Football game days are fun for the whole family, but not every child is ready for 4 quarters in the stadium. That's why the Lincoln Children's Museum offers game day play dates for kids ages 5 to 12. While you enjoy the game, your kids enjoy their own adventure at the museum, conveniently located just steps from the stadium. Registration required. And the fun isn't just on game days. The museum is open 6 days a week with 3 floors of hands-on play and activities. Out-of-town families, make the most of your weekend in Lincoln. Visit LincolnChildren'sMuseum.org.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket, Bock the Blackshirt, here on your 1 to 3 hour. Bock, the 2 biggest schools in Iowa can't even sell out the biggest game of the year in their own state. They still got more than 100 and some tickets left, Bock. If we had another team in Nebraska that was a D1, I think we would have sold out a long time ago if we'd have played them.
That's probably true. I think they'll probably get those.
Versus Iowa State.
Yeah. I think they'll probably get those tickets sold before the game, but still, yeah, you're right. I mean, the timing of which would have happened much quicker here at Nebraska. So take that, Iowa and Iowa State. Although I am looking forward to that game. Are you having? I know we're not making our picks yet, but you have a team you cheer for in that one?
Iowa.
Oh, Big Ten.
Yeah, Big Ten.
Fair enough.
I always cheer for other Big Ten teams to win.
Even if it's the hated Iowa Hawkeyes?
Yeah, I don't hate them. I mean, they're not even. I didn't even play them in college, so
right.
I'm not really an Iowa hater.
Mm.
I'm more of a Colorado and Oklahoma hater
before
I'm an Iowa hater because I never played them.
Yeah.
Now Iowa State is different because I played them, and I mean that wasn't that great when we was in school. I mean, it's good to see them doing so great with Matt Campbell. I mean, hey. This is their backyard. If you look at the recruiting things that's coming up next year with 6 guys
pretty much
Omaha going to Iowa State.
Yeah,
you can't complain about that much.
Yeah, we'll see. And typically, I think Kirk Ferentz has a pretty good record against Matt Campbell, so we'll see how this turns out.
All right, Bock, what you got for us earlier today?
Yeah, there's a lot to kind of break down here. Different news. There was one thing that just came out, so I said it before in the show, but I'll say it again. Amari Cooper is informed the Raiders that he's retiring. This was kind of leaked out or thought to be the case a few weeks ago, but now it appears to be true. Now, he did sign with them recently, so kind of interesting. We kind of breaking down his career. A lot was expected of him. Had a pretty good career, but I don't know if he kind of lived up to what was expected out of him coming out of Alabama. But still, interesting move here at the last minute as NFL season is about to start. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Plenty to break down here.
Who's the guy that texted us and said Amari Cooper? You know, I think they're Raider fans now.
Yeah, might have been happy.
How do you think his career been?
I think it's solid. Again, I don't know if it lives up to expectations of him coming out of, being such a high pick coming out of Alabama. But, you step back and look at it. I think let me double check here. He's just 31 years old, so could have played a little bit longer. But let's run down his career stats here. Probably would have helped if he would have stayed with one team, kind of jumped a little bit all over the place for a few years with the Raiders, started out, then the Cowboys, then the Browns. And then so he's had 5 Pro Bowls. I don't even know if, it might be one of those deals and kind of similar to Irving Fryar. I think Irving Fryar was like the only player to make 3, I think, what was it, like 4 Pro Bowls on 4 different teams. Cooper made it on the Raiders, the Cowboys, and the Browns as the Pro Bowler. So kind of interesting. Maybe if he was played at one place, especially if he stayed with the Cowboys, right? Where a team that, America's team, everybody gets.
Give me his career record.
On.
Give me his career stats in NFL.
Yeah, let me get those here. So he started off in Oakland, 1,070 yards, 6 touchdowns total. I'll just start with the total: 10,033 yards and 64 touchdowns. The most touchdowns he ever had in a season was 9 with Cleveland in 2022. The most yards he ever had was 1,250 with Cleveland in 2023. If you're looking at total 1,000-yard receiving seasons for him, he had 6 of them.
Is he a green jacket guy?
I don't think so. He's kind of in that area of probably not quite getting there. Of course, when he was at Alabama, he won the Blitnikoff Award, was an All-American and all that. So, obviously had a great college career, national champion in 2012, SEC Player of the Year in 2014, the Offensive Player of the Year anyway. So, a great receiver. Again, I think usually if you're in that kind of 4 or 5 Pro Bowl range, usually you're not going to quite make it. If you start to get to 6 or 7, you're probably going to get in.
All right. Sounds good to me, Buck.
So, yeah, you see him move on. Again, that is with the NFL here starting. We talked a little bit about ratings earlier. The NFL does start today, Cowboys and Eagles. Last season's NFL opening game, the Kansas City Chiefs against the Ravens, averaged 28.9 million viewers on NBC and Peacock, making it the most watched NFL kickoff game in history. That figure was a 5% increase from the previous year's season opener between the Lions and the Chiefs, which had averaged 27.5 million viewers. Of course, the Chiefs might be the key component in all of that. They will be playing in Brazil tomorrow against the Chargers, so maybe that game will get a bigger number. But what do you think? You think the Cowboys, Eagles? I mean, those are big brands. Obviously, Eagles coming off a heck of a year, Super Bowl champs. You think they could beat the game last year, the record, the Chiefs and the Ravens?
Chiefs and the Ravens. I think they can.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Great AFC. You have a lot of Cowboy fans out there. Now, I know my dad will be watching. He's a Cowboy fanatic. And he loves it. My daughter stays with him now, so I have the internet bill over there. But, yeah, I keep the internet going so he can watch his Cowboys. It's going to be a surprise because now you got to see which are these games, the Thursday night game or the Friday night game is going to have the most viewers.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs and Chargers that's a great matchup too with the rise of the Chiefs Chargers or how they rise. But I think the Cowboys and the Eagles can do it, Bob.
And going into that game, a little bit of an interesting storyline that kind of broke today is the Eagles made a strong push to trade for Micah Parsons this summer. The Cowboys, of course, ultimately traded him to the Packers. They had no interest in trading their all-pro pass rusher within their own division. So that can make some sense.
That would have been it.
Yeah.
That would have been the cream on the topping of all right there.
That would have been tough.
To give the Eagles that guy right there. Buck, Vegas has their favorites for the Super Bowl. Bills, Ravens. Vegas likes Bills or the Ravens as a favorite over the Eagles in this year's Super Bowl.
Okay, so the Bills and Ravens are the AFC favorites then.
Yeah.
And the NFC coming from the Eagles. Not too surprising. But again, once you talk about playoffs, all right, we'll see. I mean, you can make them the favorites. They might get better in the offseason, but when it comes down to facing Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs, neither Lamar Jackson or Buffalo for that matter, Josh Allen hasn't had a whole lot of success in the playoffs. Again, regular season maybe a little bit different. So we'll see. Obviously Travis Kelce getting older. The Chiefs might not have their best roster that they've had during this run. But
suspended for the first 6 games.
I still think that's where the path to go through the AFC though.
Well, that's what we say this year. I mean, football changes. I mean, there's no NIL in NFL. I mean, they get really paid good, but I'm not really a fan of the Chiefs this year. I want to go a different route in the AFC. Hopefully, if I had to vote for a team in the AFC, I want to see Lamar Jackson go to the Super Bowl.
Well, I might want to, but again, 5 out of the last 6 years, the Chiefs have made the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they get older each year, Bob. That's the thing. The thing. You get older and older. Nobody's gonna let old man Kelce and old man Mahomes keep running them over like old man Joe Montana did back when they played.
So you'd like to see Lamar get there, is what you said?
Yeah, either him or Josh
Allen.
Yeah. I mean, 2 young guys who really makes the sport exciting. Not saying that Kansas City doesn't, but get tired of seeing The kingdom. Yeah. I don't like all that. I'm not a Chiefs fan.
Well, as long as they have Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, I think they probably should be one of the favorites or the favorites.
All right, Bob. Jamar Chase is leaving Nike to sign with Kevin Hart's Fabetics. What is that called?
I don't know.
It's a shoe brand, Fabetics or something. Chase will be the first NFL superstar for the Appeal brand.
Yeah, and I don't know how far this is going to go.
Well, he took a superstar, Bach, and changed him out of Nike. You know, this reminds me of somebody that I don't know if he retired or what, but Big Baller brand. This reminds me of these Big Baller shoes. I would expect Kevin Hart to put a lot of money in it. If he don't, he will hear it.
I just, to
leave Nike to go with Fabetics.
That sounds like a friendship deal. I mean, I don't know what the numbers behind it are, but
gotta be some real money.
Just not sure if Kevin Hart's athletic apparel company is going to take off.
Yeah,
That's
for not
my own guess.
For not an athletic guy,
right?
You know,
I mean, they need a different face, and so Jamar Chase maybe could be the face of it. But as long as Kevin Hart's tied to it, I'm just not sure.
What's Kevin Hart rap now? I forgot. He called himself Chocolate Dropper.
He's got a rap name.
Yeah, that's what he called himself. Chocolate Dropper. I don't know if they should leave for shoes, but this sounds pretty weird, Bob.
I say he doesn't necessarily have the athletic build. He's what 5'5". I don't know how much he weighs. But.
Yeah, he's not big like no comedian is big that big.
Not really. It's not a
Cat
lot.
Williams.
Although I will say Dave Chappelle got pretty beefed up for a while there. Didn't
He was.
Yeah.
So he was. That's when he left and went somewhere and was gone to. Who's your best comedian you like?
Dave Chappelle would be right up there.
Okay.
I saw Louis C.K. when he was canceled here in Lincoln. So that's the comedian show I went to.
Top 5 comedians probably would be Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Barney Mac.
Oh yeah, there you
go. What's his name? Paul Mooney. You don't know who Paul Mooney is, do you?
I've heard the name. I'd probably recognize.
Yeah, Paul Mooney made. He directed a lot of stuff. Paul Mooney. So, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Dave Chappelle, Paul Mooney, and I go Cat Williams.
Oh yeah, Cat had a run for a while.
Oh yeah, Cat is still funny.
Yeah,
I love watching. I mean, I listen to a lot of comedians when I clean. I just go on YouTube, hit because it goes 60 minutes. And when you clean, you want to try to touch your phone less than you want to. So I try to put it on something long that I could just go. And by the time I'm finished cleaning, it'll be ready to go off.
Yeah, I don't mind that. It's a good time to pass time. It's to get some laughs in as well.
Well, we're trying to pass time before we can get on Matt Rule in Nebraska Cornhuskers talk. We got a lot of talk that's going on. He say Fabetics is worth about $5 billion. That's double Under Armour. What?
Well, maybe if Fabletics is something. I don't even know what is it. That's how we say it. Fabletics.
Fabetics.
Maybe it'll be something to look out for here.
I don't know.
I know Kevin Hart's got money. There's no
Bennett
question
said,
there.
how can you leave out Red Fox? I love Red Fox. If I could put him in 5.5, he's there too. All right, there, 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the black shirt. We'll be right back.
Are you facing a legal problem and don't know where to turn? You need trial attorneys you can trust. Liberty Law Group's experienced trial attorneys will handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Whether you've been accused of a crime, injured in an accident, or threatened with a lawsuit, you can trust that Liberty Law will be there for you. Call to find out how Liberty Law can help you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Call the trial attorneys you can trust. 877-42-LIBERTY.
Schwizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at Schwizow.com. That's SCHWISOW.com.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This week's specials through September 9th are 15% off produce, $1 off all drinks, and 8-ounce grass-fed, grass-finished flat iron steaks for $12.99 each. Plus, stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. Locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at HamiltonIsBusiness.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion, for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. It's Bock the Blackshirt here on your 1 to 3 hour, Monday through Friday. All right, Bock, this is what each CFB fan base is saying right now. They're saying that Texas fans are saying Arch will be fine. Michigan is saying Bryce Underwood is generational talent. Clemson is saying, what happened to Cade Klubnik? Tennessee is saying, grass isn't always greener, Nico.
Notice that.
Alabama fans are saying, Rome has fallen. Penn State fans are saying, natty or bust. South Carolina fans are saying, Sellers for Heisman. Utah fans are saying Dampier is the truth. LSU is saying we're the real Death Valley. Florida State saying Karma is a to Bama. Big Texas Tech fans are saying the Big 12 is ours to lose. USC fans somehow say playoffs or bust.
Yeah, I like that 70 points to hang up that first game.
Ohio State fans saying we are number one. North Carolina fans say it's over. Abort. Auburn fans are saying we're so back until they play somebody again. Notre Dame fans saying our coordinators are awful. That's all I got, Bob.
Yeah, some new coordinators there. Like, what are Nebraska fans saying?
The Kool-Aid glass is full. Drink up.
Yeah, win's a win is probably a lot of people are saying good start, good way to get going. So, yeah, it's kind of funny to see, again, week one reactions. Like you said, some of those just completely abort. If you didn't like what you saw from week one, hopefully, teams have to make up and improve this week. And I got a question here from Bada Being off the text line. I want to get your thoughts real quick. What's one thing you want to see on Saturday that will make you feel better about this season going forward, Terrell? From week one to week two, you usually make some significant strides there. What would make you feel significantly better about Nebraska that you can see this weekend?
Well, just with the opponent, I'm not a fan of these next two home games. I'm really not going to probably.
You're not going to read into much.
Yeah, I'm not going to read into. I mean, there's no way in hell that we can lose these games. I mean, even on our bad day, they probably can be within 10 points. Clean ball game. Get the young guys some reps. We still got guys kind of banged up. Just repetition for the younger guys so you can see what they look like against other teams instead of beating up on each other all week. Let Dylan do his work early, get him out of the game. Same with Emmett, same with some of the receivers, same with the O-line. Just this is backup guys territory right here. Let the backups get a lot of reps and let these guys eat. I mean, they've been practicing for over a month and a half, not really played, been your punching bags for the last couple of weeks. Let these young guys get in there and put in some work.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want to see some of the younger guys, like you said, get in action. And that would provide you depth, especially with the wide receivers, but specifically the running backs. Emmett Johnson having a heavy load to carry there. I think the most obvious answer, though, is the rush defense to stand up and look pretty good. Do they have to make some adjustments, play with some more down linemen? We'll have to kind of wait and see. And to your point, you might not necessarily know if you can shut down Akron's rushing game, what that necessarily means for Michigan. But you want to see it in a step in the right direction, right? Because the opposite side of that is give up 150, 180 yards to Akron, God forbid more. And then you're really thinking, okay, this might be a long year for the rush defense.
Yeah, just let the young guys play because you can't do anything to Michigan. Even that Holy Cross, Houston Christian, whatever they are, they're not even. You should beat them 100 to zip. Matt Rule's not going to run the score up, obviously, because he's not that type of guy. But I'm just saying, guys like that shouldn't be on our schedule.
I don't think we'll see too much more of it moving forward now that the SEC's on board with 9 games.
Did you know that EA Sports has withdrawn its college basketball video game proposal as more schools chose to work with 2K instead?
I did not know that. Not a surprise, though.
2K's fine.
Last time college basketball was alive, 2K was a much better product.
Yeah. A lot of people's on that 2K right now. I'm going to have to buy it.
Yeah.
They said it got the old shooting style like in 1817.
Oh, nice, yeah.
I'm going to have to make me a slasher again.
There you go.
A rim rumbler, what they call it.
Rim runner, yeah.
Yeah. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock the Blackshirt, Nebraska football when we come back.
M-Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store. Family owned and operated, located 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road. Go bold this summer and fall with endless possibilities. Stop in now for the best selection on sweaters, outerwear, suits, sport coats, dress pants, and dress shirts. M-Suits Clothiers, your menswear store.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership, stocking top models from Can-Am, Kawasaki, Honda, Polaris, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycle, Sea-Doo, and Triton trailers. Score big on our massive selection of Can-Am side-by-sides with rebates up to $3,000 on select in-stock models. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location. They can't wait to get you set up for football season.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at huskerfantravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at huskerfantravel.com. A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 877-432-6740.
You've been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn. At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law Group at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle-cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
.7 to take it Bock in the black shirt here. Bock, Akron game week.
That's right.
Akron has had their fair share of beatings coming from Power 4 teams, Bock. The last 6 games from Power 4 teams, Ohio State, 52-6. Rutgers, 49-17. South Carolina, 50-7. Kentucky, 35-3. Tennessee, 63-6. Michigan State, 52-0. Only scored 39 points, Bob. Gave up 301.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be a bit of a mismatch. Nebraska should be able to win this one. Obviously, as we know, and if you're kind of listening closer to the scores, you might know that the point spread this week is 34.5, and sounds like at least for a lot of those, the Power 4 conference teams covered in most of those cases, or would cover that point spread. So it's kind of interesting. Of course, we had Matt Rule partially break down the Zips today, so we can kind of get to that in a second. But it is. That's why it's somewhat of a tune-up week, right? It's a scheduled W. So it's a lot of it's about kind of how the win looks more so than just the win this week. If there's a loss, we've got a lot bigger problems to talk about, right? If it's a close game, I think there's going to be a lot of frustration and a lot more, I guess, deserved frustration than there was maybe last week in last week's close game. Still interested in Husker fans and kind of how they took in that week 1 win over Cincinnati. Some are just happy to get the win, right? Because Nebraska has struggled to win right out of the gate. Others would have rather Nebraska won and beat Cincinnati a little bit easier, and they had the chance to do so a few times, weren't able to necessarily do that. But ultimately, Malcolm Hartzog, of course, gets the pick and gets the win. So, again, a lot of this is going to be a little bit about how it looks today, and those numbers would indicate to you that typically the power team should be able to lean on the Akron Zips.
Yeah, we're 0-1 versus the spread, but I really don't see. I really don't care about cover. Games like this, you want to see the younger guys get in that walk-ons. Guys like Trent Euler, man, he probably deserves to get in. Other guys, Jacob Bauer deserves to play a lot. Younger guys like Dawson Merritt, Cortez Mills, Jeremiah Jones, you want to see those guys get in. You want to see the younger guys on the offensive line, Sam Sledge, get in. You want to see those guys get in and do some cleanup work. Damon Bennett's son gets in.
Caleb.
Just guys who probably gave it all during the camps and couldn't break the 2-man rotation, but. This is a game for these guys to get in and prove that they deserve to be at the University of Nebraska. Now, that don't mean that the starters go over there and sit down and clown around. No, you cheer those guys on like those guys cheer you on. Because I used to love when my roommates got in the game because, my roommates end up being one of the superstars on the 97 team. I roomed with Mike Rucker and Jason Wilkes. So, and I used to tell them, I used to say, hey, man, we're never going to feel like roommates until we get on the field together. And I used to say that to both of them. Hey, y'all need to get in the games. Y'all need to step it up. Let's play together. And we all played together at one time. And it was a good feeling to be out there on the field with your roommates because, it's just so much that these guys that don't get to play give up, bruised bodies. They throw themselves around on scout team and get banged up. But, when it's time for them to get in the game, I think these two games are probably one of the games that they could probably get in for. I'm not saying they won't probably get in any more games, but these two are really the two games that you can help these young guys with their confidence.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and then it's going to be also interesting to see, some of what we did here today. And again, I can get to that the Matt Rules clips here in a second, but we do know a few things, maybe that we didn't know coming in to last week is that Gunnar Gatula will be starting at left tackle. So they still have the oars on the depth chart, but they're also talking about Monday, trying to iron that out, and you don't want a 3-man rotation throughout the season. Looks like at least maybe in the last couple of days, maybe they went back and looked over the film one way or the other. They've kind of leaned in on Gatula. Now, what does that mean for Pritchett? And what does that mean, for the other backups, Turner Corcoran, who rotated in there? We'll see. Maybe there is still more of a rotation, like you said. Ideally, you would think even if there is not a rotation, all three of those guys will play one way or the other on Saturday. So it's going to be interesting, but I do think it is important for them to kind of settle in on somebody and get rolling, get that offensive line's continuity going.
Well, you can say it's easy saying that right now, Bock, because you've chosen Gatula, but this is a Akron team. This is a Houston Christian team or Houston Cross, whatever you want to call them. But the real show doesn't start until the Michigan game. Now, that's when you going to see how those left tackles are gonna play, because then you're going to see who's a show dog and who's a hunting dog. When that's when you're going to see out of all on this team, or who's the show dogs or who's the hunting dogs. You're not going to see that to the Michigan game, Bock. And I promise you're probably going to get a starter, but hey, you're not going to know anything to Michigan game, how your team is.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. I mean, obviously you kind of think about it, and we don't have to avoid the elephant in the room. Elijah Pritchett was probably worth a pretty penny coming over here from Alabama. So ideally you'd like to see him start. I was very interested in watching him. Obviously, and made a few mistakes in that game and was benched right afterwards and was visibly frustrated on the sidelines. You got to keep his spirits up at the same time doing what's best for the team and not really paying attention to the NIL amount and focusing on who's going to be playing the best football. So again, they decided on Gatula at this point. That's probably far from over. I mean, they couldn't make that decision going, through camp. If there's a mistake made here, I'm sure those other guys will get an opportunity. So it'll be interesting to see it, but don't let me tell it. Let's get to Matt Rule and get to some of the talks that he had this week.
Let's get this one out of the way right here, Bob. Bada Bing on YouTube says, if you was on this team, what song would you play to get hyped up to this Saturday? He's saying, what did you play back in 95? As a team, we didn't play music in the locker room, so we didn't have that luxurious thing that Nebraska has right now, because everybody listened to their Walkman, and I listen to different stuff. I probably say I listen to probably Eazy-E, NWA, probably 8 Ball and MJG, to get hype, just some Southern song. I didn't have the Little John and East Side Boys, what I'm saying? Like, who you with? So, I didn't have all that stuff. It's just when it's time to play, it's time to play. I mean, you can't listen to music in your head during the game. So you just really focus on getting your mental state ready and try to concentrate and be ready to play when that whistle blows.
Yeah, and it's fun to get hyped up and go to the locker room, but for the most part, you got to do your stretching, you get your minutes, you're right where you're coming down out of that. So I'm not sure if that has too much of a direct impact.
Alabama lineman with his phone in his hand during warm-up. Is that crazy?
That's a little, that's not ideal.
Proctor?
Was it Caden Proctor?
Yeah.
That's not good. That's their best lineman.
Yeah, he had his phone in his hand during warm-ups, but he was in shorts and headphones, though.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Different kind of football, though. Yeah. All right, Buck, it's on you.
All right, real briefly, quick on that too. Alabama did lose defensive lineman Jeremiah Beeman for the rest of the season after he suffered a lower body injury in practice yesterday. So as bad as things were and frustrating as they were for Alabama throughout the week, might not be getting better. Key injury there from one of the guys he started this past week due to another injury for a guy in front of him. So maybe not the worst, but obviously, Nebraska dealing with their own injuries, Janarian Bonner, everybody kind of has this. But for Alabama, that happened post that game against Florida State and during the week. So not necessarily what you're looking for here. Let's get to Matt Rule, though, here from his press conference today. What have you wanted to work on this week?
I'm always very hesitant when coaches say great week because you don't know how your week is until you play the game. But I've had no red flags. So the guys have worked hard. They've been very focused on working hard. They've been focused on working on the things, we call it deliberate practice, working on the things that we need to work on. And that's not like overall even. That's even just each guy. Like, hey, it's just it's like an autopsy of yourself after the first game when you see how you played. And you watch that first game and you're like, all right, oh man, I thought I'd do better than this. I thought I would handle this better. And so you can go back and work on it. So I feel like they've all done that. But, we have to bring it to the game. And we don't want to talk about missed opportunities and all that after the game. So we have to go out and attack it. But I've been pleased with the guys this week.
So he said, no red flags, Buck. I have a red flag. I have a red flag. The defensive line is my red flag. I think this group is small compared to other defensive linemen. Didn't do a great job was too far upfield in my boat. They was too upfield. Should have been getting upfield and sliding down and trying to close the gap between stop the quarterbacks from trying to get that way. Overall, I think they did pretty good on defense overall, linebacker play. I mean, we have to see how Cincinnati season turns out also. I mean, if they go down there and let a team that they shouldn't win, beat them 40-0, then, hey, maybe we can say, hey, this team wasn't that great at all. So, and maybe it was just a tune-up game for us. But we do have stuff we need to correct on this football team, especially on the defensive side. Rushing game, you gave up 200 yards. So, right now you're already way back in the stats for that part. Good thing is you only gave up less than 100 yards on passing. So we can say that team was not a great passing team. We can say a lot of things, but at the end of the day, you got the victory, and I think it's good that, Coach Rule says these things.
Yeah, it's interesting as we move on to the next clip here. I know there were some questions throughout the week about maybe, big expectations for Jacory Barney this opening game in this season. And he was hurt on the first play. You could see him kind of bending like a pretzel. Apparently that is still bothering him. He had another play where he almost broke it out. Of course, Nebraska didn't have too many broken play, didn't break too many plays big. Barney had one that was close. Maybe that injury, kind of hurt there. Maybe it was just kind of lost his footing. But in any case, what are we looking at for Jacory Barney with his health coming into the week?
They were pretty healthy. We'll have to see where Jacory's at. He's been limited this week. He'll play in the game. Just what the volume of his role will be. To be quite honest, I didn't even know he was hurt until the end of the game. That's how much of a warrior that kid is. I came in on Sunday. They're like, he's questionable for next week. I said, yeah, he'll practice Tuesday. No, he won't practice. He practiced Tuesday. He's just he practiced really well yesterday. He's just an infectious. He changes. He and Shavers changed the whole practice yesterday. Like their intensity and their commitment to just showing up at practice and loving the game is so infectious that we feel it when Jacory is not out there. And that's I'm sure they told me his ankle was hurt, but I just couldn't tell. And I know he wasn't probably when you watch tape, but probably not as explosive as he's used to, but he's still pretty dang explosive. So, but yeah, in terms of the volume, we'll have to just wait and see how he feels on game day. It's September and it's going to be 55, 60 degrees. So, I'm sure that won't affect it, but just, I just have to wait and see. So, but we've had a good week with the other guys getting them ready.
Well, I don't think you should put pressure on this guy to play this type of game. I think, if you wanted to really be ready for the Michigan game, you let this guy rest. I mean, he got bent up pretty good just from what you've seen on TV and live when you ask people about it. Yeah, he could be a tough kid, but at the end of the day, you want him for the long run, not the short run. So you don't want him to be a game by game weekly thing, Bach, when he's hurt. I think you Let him, if he needs to rest 2 weeks, you have a 2-week rest period. Just keep him in shape and let him just practice instead of playing the game where players take, I wouldn't say cheap shots, because a lot of people say that Cincinnati did some cheap things. It's called football. I mean, we done seen people tackle like that before. We've done tackle like that before. So, it's certain things that happen in football that probably you want to sit this young man out, or if he wants to go, he go, because at the end of the day, he's in charge of his own body.
Well, and I know that like we've been talking about, might be a game a little bit for some of the other guys to get in, but those top players want to get their stats in too. I mean, Ja'Cory Barney is probably looking at this game and said, you know what, I want to break one here. I want to get something up there. So we'll see, and that could get him kind of going. You're kind of mixing the balance right between getting him warmed up for the football season and not risking further injury there. And I suppose it kind of factors in with Emmett Johnson. And Coach Rule talked about the running backs too. We'll get to those in a second. But a lot was made about his heavy workload that he had against Cincinnati, and you got to give Ja'Cory Barney all the credit in the world. Maybe he didn't have his best game. Not that it was a bad one. He just didn't necessarily show out as much, maybe due to that early injury. But he fought hard, and he stayed in that game. And to that point that Coach Rule was saying, Vincent Shaver is a guy on the defensive side of the ball that when those guys are out there, it just kind of changes the tune of practice. So you got to kind of recognize that both those guys, young men in the program, but a lot of upside, and it'll be exciting to see what they could do. Obviously, not just this week, but into the future. But yeah, I mean, I would probably try to find a happy medium between kind of warming him up, get him happy, give him a few touches that he has a chance to do something with, get some stats up there. Obviously, if he's feeling close to 100%, might not be 100%, but close to it. But don't risk him too much. Again, like you said, Michigan coming in a few weeks, still going to have the Houston Christian game as a buffer. So just kind of like they said, you're just going to kind of go with what he feels like on that game day. But you have to a little bit also maybe check with the doctors a little bit, because it sounds like he's going to be telling you he's good to go one way or the other. So hopefully you can kind of keep him happy. Like I said, hopefully break out. And that's what Nebraska, I think, hopefully is going to get to is a few big plays to kind of open up their offense, because that was one thing as we talk about the defense is struggling stopping the run. I think the biggest complaint on offense was just a lack of explosive plays, and that should be more of an opportunity against the lesser opponents coming up in the next 2 weeks.
Well, you have to think about guys like Emmett. How many carries do you want him to have this game? I think you put a limit on him. I say, hey, Emmett, I'm giving you 20 carries. Now, after those 20 carries, I'm bringing you out the game. I mean, you have 30 touches last game.
Yeah.
Do you think he needs 30 touches for the next 3 weeks or 2 weeks? That'll be 90 carries, Bock. What he had, 28 carries, 32 carries. Well, he had 32 touches.
Yeah, I think it was like 27 carries. Or he had 7 receptions, so it was like maybe 25 carries.
Yeah, so you want to get his load down and for these next 2 games so that you can have a healthy Emmett Johnson, because you're going to need him against Michigan. I've been watching tape. Ernest Hausman is coming full speed. He's coming downhill.
Yeah, and again too, I think it's just a part about keeping the guys happy and getting their opportunities. Emmett Johnson is just his second 100-yard rushing game this past week. It'd be great if you can do that again, but again, it's part about breaking out a few big plays to kind of help you get there, because you don't want to put too much mileage on him, too many carries. I mean, I'm thinking probably 10, 12 carries this week for Emmett Johnson should probably be good.
Yeah, you don't understand, Bock. I mean, I know players get mad when you take them out of the game, but hey, I used to love to come out of the game in the third quarter. I didn't play in the third. I only played probably 2 years at Nebraska out of 22 games. I probably say 2 games I played the fourth quarter. The rest of the games I was out third quarter.
Keeping you fresh.
Yeah, keeping me fresh. Hot dog eating machine on the sideline,
right.
What they used to call me.
All right, let's get to those backup running backs. Coach Rule has asked, what do you want to see from Isaiah Mosley and Mekhi Nelson?
Well, Mekhi just has to play the way he's capable of playing. He doesn't do anything special. He's a really good player. He just has to get his opportunities and take advantage of them. We'll have to give him some opportunities. I do want to see him play on some special teams. I've challenged him to get on some of those things. And Mosley's going to have a unique role, obviously with, we've had some injuries. So, he's a guy who can do a lot of different things. And so I just want to see, those guys just be themselves. I think the biggest thing about where our team is right now, and, every coach has a philosophy. I blend a lot from, Coach Wooden, and, I always believe that, preparation leads to poise and confidence, which leads to competitive greatness. And I just want the guys to be confident, to trust themselves. I want them to be poised, to be themselves, right? Like poised where you're not fighting yourself, where you trust yourself. So I don't need them to like go into the game and do something special. I just need them to go be themselves. And what I don't want is to see them be somebody else, right? Like to show up at the game and all of a sudden start doing new things, or, start panicking. Like, we're a good football team. Not everything's going to be easy all the time. I want them to enjoy the adversity of the games. I want them to respect their opponents, but I want them to play fearlessly. And, so yeah, I think both those guys, we just had to give them an opportunity, right? I mean, like I said, I kind of explained what happened last week, but I don't know that that'll happen this week. I think, we'll try to get those guys in a little bit earlier, and we just have to let them go play.
Well, a quote from who?
What's that, John Wooden?
Did he say Wooden or Woody Hayes?
I think it's John Wooden.
Oh, okay. Could have got a quote from Tom Osborne, but that part was a good part. The only part I respect no opponent until after the game, Bob. You study your opponent, you break them down, you see what their weaknesses are, you see what their strengths are, you attack them. That's the way I was taught to play football, is you attack your opponents until you beat them down. So, and that's one thing Nebraska has to learn to do. You attack until they break, and then you congratulate them at the end of the game. So, I
think it is interesting though that he says, they just have to be themselves. But I think the challenge for that, and of course you think, well, yeah, I mean that's kind of what got you there. But the challenge for that is if you are getting one touch a game, two touches a game, you might want to do the spectacular to maybe get more carries or to be able to show yourself off. When in reality, you just kind of got to take what's there, what's in front of you. Some plays aren't made to break out.
You can only do what the game gives you. I mean, you cannot. I mean, when you talk about people that make plays, you can only, we can say, oh, he got it. Okay, you was allowed to get that 50-yard rush. Now, if that defensive back or if three guys in front of you, you're not allowed on that one carry. You might have one carry for 50 yards. You might have one carry for 1.5 yards.
Yeah.
Now, if that's because it was good defense or because you broke out or you did something spectacular to do that 50 yards, different scenarios, though.
Yeah, might not have a whole lot to do with you. Sometimes it does. Sometimes you got it. And that was a big talk, too, this week was making more people miss, breaking more tackles, downfield blocking, all those things that could lead to bigger plays and bigger opportunities. And so we'll have to see if those guys can get it done. But again, we expect a lot more carries, a lot more of an opportunity this week for them. A few more things to get here from Coach Rule, but we are up against the break, so better do that.
All right, 93.7 the ticket. Bock in the black shirt. Yeah, we'll be right back.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
You've been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn. At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law Group at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Break out the Lederhosen and raise a stein. Oktoberfest is this Friday at Kincaidor in the Haymarket. Music and food service start at 4 p.m. and the party goes on through the night. Expect cold beer, German eats, and all the Bavarian fun you can handle at Oktoberfest this Friday night at Kincaidor in the Haymarket. It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Stocking top models from Can-Am, Kawasaki, Honda, Polaris, CF Moto, Suzuki, Yamaha, Indian Motorcycle, Sea-Doo, and Triton trailers. Score big on our massive selection of Can-Am side-by-sides with rebates up to $3,000 on select in-stock models. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location. They can't wait to get you set up for football season.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovebneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Bock The Blackshirt here on your 1 to 3 hour, Monday through Friday. We are powered
by
Bauer,
Infrastructure,
Bauer,
Underground,
Barrett,
Excavating.
Shout out to the Bauer boys out there working hard in Lincoln and Omaha area. All right, Bock, let's keep it going.
Yeah, we got still some clips to play from Matt Rule's press conference. We did talk about Gunnar Gatula, but if you want to hear it from the coach himself, here's the question and the quick answer. Not much elaborated here, but it was a quick answer here.
After evaluating the game film and then this week of practice, is there any more clarity at left tackle? You said you kind of wanted to.
Yeah, Gunnar will start.
So there you have it. The follow-up question could have been, is there still going to be a rotation, that sort of thing? But it's tough in those press conferences. You just gotta go when you go. So they did not necessarily follow up with that. So again, it is interesting to see if there will be much of a rotation. Again, I think these next 2 weeks, if you aren't for sure that Gunnar Gatula is your guy, and I don't know if there was anything overwhelming from that game. Maybe they loved his tape compared to the others. Not sure. But I'm not sure if there's anything overwhelming from Cincinnati that would say that. Then maybe keep that competition rolling and just kind of see what it looks like. But as you were saying too, Terrell, it's not bad to have some options. You might settle in on a guy for now. I think as we know, Gatula, Adam Carricker has said for a while now, has some pro potential down the line. He sees that in him. Clearly, Elijah Pritchett does too. So, it might be one thing for a tackle to look good against Akron, and a different thing if Michigan's edge rushers bring a little bit more to the table. So even if you are a guy in one of those backups in Corcoran or Pritchett, and you don't get to play much the next 2 weeks, you gotta keep your helmet in your hand and get ready to go, because things could break down at some point this season.
Well, you always got to be ready, Buck. I sat on the bench for 5 games my junior year, and I always thought I should been the starter. That's how I felt. I played like I was a starter. I didn't get a chance to start to the 6th game of the season my junior year, and was still able to make second team All-American. So it doesn't matter how long you sit on the bench. It's what you do when you get on the game and be able to show the coaches still that you're happy when you're in there.
Yeah, be productive there. So we'll see. That's an interesting little nugget from today's press conference. Let's go into a few different things here too. And some different things to think about. It is a big recruiting weekend, so we can jump to that in a second. But obviously, Akron coming in as the underdog. The question was posed to Matt Rule. What message did he give to his team about being the underdog?
The underdog very often, though, Sam. I mean, not year 1, year 2, but yeah. I'm saying year 3, year 4, we were pretty damn good. Right. So, I'm just saying this to be funny. No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I was just being funny. My Temple guys will be like, "Oh, really, coach?" Trust me, they listen to everything and they have a lot of opinions. Yeah, I'm just teasing. No, in all seriousness, no, absolutely, because I'll never forget when Adam DeMichael was my quarterback. I was the OC at Penn State, going to Penn State, and seeing Ron Vanderlinden before the game and him being like, "Hey, you got a great quarterback now. Don't get him hurt today." And I see Ron later, and Ron's a great man. Him being like, I'm scared of Adam. I didn't want you to run him too much. So, I think, when you go in to these types of games, there's really nothing. You really have nothing in the world to lose and everything in the world to gain. And you have a bunch of players in your team who believe that they should be playing at the highest level and know that they're good players. And what's unique now that's different from before is it used to be like you played an FCS team and you saw a bunch of bounce back players. Like now when you face any group of 5 team, they're going to have a lot of guys who played, one linebacker played in Illinois. I mean, like they've played a lot of football. And so, guys who know what this level's like and they know that they can play at this level. So, I think the message for me always was like, hey, we're competitors. We're going in to compete. Let's go compete. Let's take our shots, and we have nothing to lose. And on this end, we don't ever want to play the brand. We want to play the man. That's kind of always our message. Like, and that's whether we're playing Ohio State or whether we're playing, Kent State. We want to play the guy lined up in front of us and play to a standard that. We're trying to attack that man. And so that was something that we were not great at last year. We played Ohio State to one level. We played other games to a different level. I told the team, I think we lost to Illinois last year, and that started in the UNI game with the standard that we played at in the UNI game. And so again, that's, if you guys probably always hear me say, don't listen to the outside noise, don't listen to this, don't listen to that. And that's that's just really a mindset of like, what do we say as football players to ourselves? I got to play a certain level. And so just do that. So yeah, I mean, I told our team I'm uptight this week. This guy beat me the last time I faced him head to head. Like, like that was one of the worst moments of my coaching career. And so, anyway, no, I told the guys I'm gonna be uptight this week. Right, this guy beat me. Right, he beat me in a monumental upset. Back when we were the underdogs. So yeah, I know. To me, I was always into these games like, hey, we're here to compete. We're here to play. To your point, my third year at Temple, we played Notre Dame. Not many people gave us a chance. We were underdogs. It was college game day. Everyone and we played. darn near won the game. And so, but we were just playing to play because we love the game. And so that's what I want to see from our guys tomorrow. I want to see them go out or Saturday, excuse me, see them go out and play. They love to play. They love to play at home and go do that.
So you have it from Coach Matt Rule there talking about kind of playing the underdog role and the reverse of that as Nebraska comes into this weekend. And again, from us, the talking heads, we can say what this game should be, what it will be, or what it could be, what it should be, what we want to look like, all the backups that we want to see in the game, all of that. But it does have to be earned. They do have 11 men out on the field. They're gonna put out there. They're gonna like he was kind of saying is give it their all, give it their chance, be able to show on tape that they deserve to be there. Maybe at these kind of bigger schools. And so whether they can win the game or even win their one-on-one battles, this is a big week for Akron. You don't play in these big stadiums all that often. You don't get the opportunity to put this type of stuff on film. In today's modern world, not necessarily saying do it all for the Zips. If you put it on tape, maybe it might be better for you if you hit the transfer portal at some point. So it's just kind of interesting to break that down. And then as Coach Rule is saying, Coach Joe Moorhead has had some success against him in the past. And so, he hasn't really gotten it going there at Akron. That's a tough place to win. Not many people have. But he's a heck of a coach, and he'll continue to say, one of the better offensive coaches in the nation. In fact, if you kind of remember, he was the offensive coordinator for the Saquon Barkley, Trace McSorley Penn State team that won that Big Ten title. And of course, we've seen that's become pretty difficult for James Franklin to put together something that can win that title. Now, Saquon certainly helps, but Joe Moorhead was a big part of that too.
Yeah, they don't have a Saquon Barkley on their team, Bock. They have four transfers that's starting. Then you have a freshman that's starting at left guard. So that's probably going to be a spot where you want to blitz at a lot because he's a young guy. And plus the crowd's going to play a factor against these guys. I'm not worried about Kent State. I mean, Akron. I mean, they're probably both the same. When I say Kent State,
yeah, some MAC teams, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I shouldn't. You shouldn't be scared of a team like Akron. You prepare for teams like this. You know that you've already. Not saying you won the game, but you're probably favored in every aspect of the game. Your defensive line is better than them. Your offensive line is better than theirs. Your defense is better than their offense. So just attack mode when you come out there. I mean, just go out there and play your game. Get it over quickly with. That's what you do. Let's go out here and get these backup guys some time and get your starters out of there so nobody can get hurt and get out the game safely.
Yeah. It's interesting to kind of see how this looks. Of course, a majority of their players would just love to have a Nebraska offer. So, they kind of got that chip hanging on their shoulder. We'll see if they can make anything of that. Of course, this week also a big recruiting weekend. Here, Coach Rule has asked, "What foundation are you setting for recruits?"
Oh, certainly. I mean, this past class is the first class we've actually had. Everyone talks about the building. I would remind everybody this is the first year we've actually had the building for recruiting. Walking guys through concrete with hard hats does not wow them in recruiting. Showing them pictures does not wow them. You actually have to go into the building and see it. And so, the things that we did this summer that I think were foundational. The Adidas 7-on-7. Huddle, and they had their own event. You got some people to Lincoln, getting guys from across the country to come here. I think that's been a game changer for us to finally have the building up and running, to have the training table. I think Troy in his press conference said to you guys a year ago, we're just serving our first meal on the training table. I mean, now we have a world-class facility that, people talk about. So, we're light years ahead of, I think, where we were. We have some of the best players in the country coming to visit. And again, I will always remind everyone, though, my goal is not to recruit the best recruits. My goal is to recruit the best players. And there's a big difference to me, So I want the guys whose skill sets, whose work ethic, and whose brains fit our culture of football. Not, I want to win the recruiting rankings battle. It's fun when you do. Don't get me wrong. I mean, you like getting players that are recognized as being good players, but we have to find the right guys, and so we have to spend time with them. And so this will be a big weekend for us, to have all these top players here. So I'm excited. And I think, some guy goes all the way to the 2030 class. And we have some guys at that level coming. So, but that's the type of team that we want to be. We want to be a destination for the top recruits in the country.
Well, like I said, at the end of the day, you could have the best facilities in the world, but those guys are going to want to see your record at the end of the year. So what you got to do is just keep winning, bring them in, just keep winning. And at the end of recruiting time, and they see that Nebraska is a 9-3, 10-2, 8-4 team that they feel comfortable with, and that they both agree that I can help them in a big way. It goes a long way. Now, when I was recruited, Bock, I asked a lot of questions. I said, how do I fit at Nebraska? Coach Oliver said, you're going to get a chance to start, at the beginning. So, honest thing I could tell them, just be honest to kids, because, these kids have a lot of more flexibility than we had in the 90s. It's easier to get out your scholarship. It's easier to transfer. It's easier to do this and do that, because one thing kids don't want to do is have to sit out a whole year like guys in the old barbaric days that we call it now in college football.
Yeah, interesting too. Obviously, as Nebraska recruiting rankings this year so far, not a big class, so I'm not highly rated. So kind of interesting to hear him talk about the better fits in the guys that they picked. I think they have 12 commits right now. Probably not going to get a whole lot more than that. Also mentioned recruiting some 8th graders, the class of 2030. So it is always kind of look forward and look ahead in the world of recruiting. So that's always interesting too.
All right, long as you last till 2030, that's the only that'll be good. 93.7 The Ticket. Bock the Blackshirt will be back.
Break out the lederhosen and raise a stein. Oktoberfest is this Friday at Kincaider in the Haymarket. Music and food service start at 4 p.m. and the party goes on through the night. Expect cold beer, German eats, and all the Bavarian fun you can handle at Oktoberfest this Friday night at Kincaider in the Haymarket.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's. I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers, crinkle cut fries with Texas toast. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup.
You've been accused of a crime and don't know where to turn. At Liberty Law Group, we understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you're up against the legal system, you need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. Liberty Law's experienced trial attorneys are committed to the defense of liberty for those accused. Don't let a criminal charge ruin your life. Call Liberty Law Group at 877-42-LIBERTY. Advocates you need, trial attorneys you can trust. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Prashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska insider today.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Man, these 2 hours went by fast right here. Should I use the slogan? The fastest 2 hours in radio?
There you go.
Nah, it's just being Bock, and we just love to talk. So you'll get that every day, Monday through Friday, from here on, from Bock and the Blackshirt, 93.7 The Ticket.
Absolutely. A few things to wrap up the show with that I think are interesting. Just in the last hour on 3 reporting, the NCAA Football Oversight Committee voted to support a single transfer portal window in January. So at some point, common sense might rule the day for the NCAA with a single transfer portal window in January.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Guys will think twice then.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense and should kind of close out the absolute free agency maybe that we've had in the last couple of years. Still going to be a lot of people transferring, but at least, roster management, that sort of stuff, a little bit easier moving forward for the coaches if that does kind of pass the final bar that needs to be passed into law there for them. The other note that I saw is that the Seahawks have announced that undercover police officers are going to wear opposing team jerseys at home games this year. The idea is that they can obviously be able to sniff out some of the home fans that are being a little bit mean to the opposing fans coming in. So it kind of an interesting way to go about it. I don't know if that's if they're going to do that. This is obviously the Seahawks. That's not going to be something nationwide, but you might want to be a little bit nicer to Akron fans, or maybe some fans wearing opposing teams' jerseys now, because maybe this idea will spread.
That's bad, Bock. I don't like it.
You don't like that idea?
No, I don't like it. You don't mess with the fans, Bock. I think that's kind of, I don't know, Bock. It just doesn't sound right.
Yeah. It says undercover law enforcement officers will wear opposing team jerseys at home games this season in an effort to quickly detect guests violating the fan code of conduct. So there you go. That's the easy way to do it. Those are probably the targets as far as people piling on them.
All right.
So that makes some sense.
Mickey Joseph, he was at the stand today, and he said this about playing Ohio State. He said, they got a great band. We've got a great band. We're going to compete as a band. A lot of people, he said that was a joke. So he was just, you know, look forward to him playing. I'm looking forward to him playing. See, can he take not take down Ohio State, but hold them.
Yeah, I want to see him at least kind of keep it interesting for a quarter and a half or something. You know, BTN 2:30 kickoff. If you want to see Mickey Joseph get that opportunity, but again, I've never been, and it continues. I want to go look at that clip and kind of see what the rest of the press conference sounded like, because it still surprises me. Like Matt Rourke was kind of saying, you know, regardless of who you have in front of you, you got to kind of build a foundation or in a culture of competing against the guy across from you. And just from what I've heard from Mickey going into this game, is that they're collecting a paycheck, and so, you know, I think part of it is you don't want the Grambling crowd or reporters or anything like that to try to take too much away from this game. It's a different level of competition, obviously, from what they're going to see throughout most of the time. And we've had them on, and we've heard about, you know, why Grambling might need the extra money as opposed to some of these other programs around the nation. This will go a long way in helping them, and it is a big deal. I think Ohio State's maybe played, if I remember correctly, one other HBCU, you know, at Ohio Stadium. So it's a big deal for Grambling. Good deal for Ohio State to get them in the building, and he is right. I mean, those are two of the most famous and best bands in the land. So, you know, hopefully they do bring the band along, and you can have a little bit of a battle.
Yeah, a little bit of battle. All right, Bock, some of the games this weekend. Oklahoma is a 5.5 favorite versus Michigan. Oregon is a 28.5 favorite over Okie State.
Man, that Michigan-Oklahoma game, I'm a little bit surprised by that. You know, Oklahoma, obviously, John Mateer, I think probably a big reason for that, the quarterback who...
Is he that good?
Well, I mean, he was pretty darn good at Washington State. Michigan still trying to see if Bryce Underwood's the real deal, and we'll all figure out. I mean,
what time is that game?
That's
Saturday?
a big game. Let me double check for the slate. I don't know if I have that written down.
Because I want to watch that game just to see the quarterbacks and see what they do. So I'm very excited about this weekend because we don't play to 6:30.
So they play at 6:32. So you're gonna have to
my God.
either record it or
I'll probably go watch it later on YouTube.
Yeah, because you're going to the Akron game, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going. I don't know how long I'm gonna stay, because if it's 50 to zip, Bock, I'm getting out of there.
Beating the traffic.
No, I just want to see the light show and I'm out.
Oh,
so,
you gotta wait till the end of the third quarter, then, right?
I know, Bob.
Yeah.
So, but you know, I'm gonna go up there and check out that top room that they have, the players' lounge for the ex-players. I haven't been up there. I didn't get a chance to see it last year, so I'm gonna go up there and eat all the food up and walk out. So
yeah, well, fair enough.
Yeah. And Nick Sainert, if you're listening, my Braves beat your Cubs last night.
There you go.
Not here to talk about it. All right, 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bock the Blackshirt, and this is the end of the show, folks. But guess what? We still got 2 more days this week. Game day Saturday and Good Sense Friday.
That's
Bock
right.
the Blackshirt. We'll see you tomorrow. 93.7 The Ticket.
Barbecue. It's $5.99 barbecue time. Hurry to Hog Wild for a complete barbecue meal that's only $5.99. Get a 1-meat sandwich loaded with our award-winning barbecue, plus your choice of a classic side and